Ollie, be on your best behavior. Okay, so welcome to our sprint planning. And we have a lot of issues loaded into the first sprint, so we'll go down through the different epics. Okay, starting with IP optical.
Okay. So the first 2, 4, 5 are the bulk of the work for this sprint.
Yep.
And the first 3 are really modeling and investigation type of things. So the first one is really identifying if I want to build a new metro network that runs IP optical, what are the applications I need to support, and what does it mean for ONOS to support, right? In particular,
pardon the interruption, Bill, are you sharing?
Oh, maybe not. Thank you for saying that. All right, is that any better?
Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Thomas, you want me to start again, or we're good?
No, we're good. I heard you. I just wanted to make sure that we were operating with a full picture.
Okay. The second part is figuring out. We're moving to this disaggregated model, disaggregated ROADM, where essentially the hardware gets split up into into components. In this particular case, the ROADM, the actual switching fabric and the transponders get split up. What does it mean to drive them from a software set, right? What are the parameters that we need to consider? How do we do that? That's essentially, there's ticket 2 and 3, 2930 and 2931. Then the remaining high priority ones essentially have to do with OTN support. The first one, 2321, is as good as done. That has been under review for a couple of days now. I suspect this will be closed soon. And the same for 2126. I can't remember exactly how they are different. But yeah. And actually, sorry, that wasn't those aren't the ones that have to do with OTN. These are the ones that are about the transfer to the new config framework. It's the next two that are OTN based. So the OTN ones, yeah. So that one in 2473 is the one that is in review. The other one is still in progress and has to do with supporting the different OTN parameters in ONOS in our flow and criteria subsystems. And then the bottom two, that's 2921, 2920, are something essentially a kind of cleanup job for the changes and the additions that were made for the circuit extension, the optical extensions in Voxy. And that is it. Okay. Any questions?
How many folks are humans?
There's me, there's Ayaka. I don't know at the OTN support, I don't know how many people, at least one, but
it's also
my only concern is that there's
Eliza?
maybe a little bit too much work for a 2-week period. Or we're going to 3 weeks now.
This is 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
This is 3 weeks, yeah.
Understanding. And so the first 3, I mean, they're kind of hard to divide, chop them up into separate pieces. They kind of all are together in a way, even though yeah.
I think if you have 3 people, there should be enough for 3-week sprint. It should be fine.
Okay. Good. All right. Move on. Okay. Cord. So Cord had a sprint planning session this morning for all of the detail-related things. Ali, are there things for this?
No, I think we should drop this epic from the ONOS.
Okay.
From ONOS, it's
Can
just
do it.
confusing. It's just
Want me to close it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's just the
So if in case you don't know it, there's a different Scrum board that's being used for Cord. It's such a large project. Okay, let's go on the NetConf. All right. How about NetConf? Who can speak to NetConf?
I really can't.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, so this is the Happiest Minds crew, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Except for that one, that's got you as a reporter. Okay, so we'll keep going. I'll find. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow, or I think tomorrow. So we'll figure
We'll
out.
figure that out then. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good just to have them size up the remaining couple of items, just so that
I feel like
we can
a lot of
count.
people like implement NetConf southbound, gone. You know, like implement flow rule provider. That's also kind of done, more or less. I mean, like a lot of these things, we probably want to model, take open config, I would say, for this, and model it in our. Anyway, we can do that later.
Okay, so we'll get that cleaned up. Okay, so segment routing. Who's working on this? Is it Flavio?
Yeah, so yeah.
I guess so. But Flavio's not online.
Most of that part of code as well. Yeah, that's also kind of moved to Cord as well, really.
Okay, so we need to clean this one up then.
Yeah.
All right. All right. IP RAN use case. Who's that?
IP RAN?
Yeah.
It should be, yeah, well,
I have defined it. This is for ONOS FW. I don't think so. IP RAN.
Okay, so this is
Maybe we would. I can check it later.
okay. Can you find out from Patrick what?
Okay.
Okay.
We still look to something.
Okay, IPv6. Complete missing IPv6 functionalities. And then Charles. Charles is here.
For IPv6, I guess we're doing is still working on secure test bank, and there is a bug reported. I'm still trying to reproduce that, and I will try to solve it in this sprint. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's
Anyone knows the progress about the test plan for team site?
We'll update it when we get there.
okay. All right, so, but is this 1264? Is that still a validation?
Yeah, it's still valid.
Okay.
There's a some missing unit test. I will try to finish that.
Okay. Should it stay in the backlog or bring it to the sprint?
We can bring it to the sprint.
Okay. Okay, Rusty.
Yes.
You see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Sorry. So, do we just go down them one by one, or do you?
Well,
Should I?
which ones are going to be addressed in this sprint?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the PIM emulation, 1503, the 1760 and 1761, we have pretty close to finished. Except, okay, that 1804 is actually complete.
I'm going to move it in the sprint and let you guys close it.
Okay, and 1821 is complete also. So I'll go ahead and shut those down.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and then we'll complete 1931 as well. I think that should do it. I have a couple more that I'll enter a little bit later this afternoon.
Okay. And let's see, none of these are stories, so they don't have estimates on them. So,
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of my Jira skills are lacking.
so Thomas, what do you want to do? Do you want to have these changed over to stories and then?
Yeah, I can change them to the stories. Why don't we do that? That would be good because it's not a big deal to do that, and then we can size them.
Okay.
I can do that in the background.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be great. I'll take some time to brush up on my Jira skills, and I might have a question or two for you guys, but otherwise I'll stay on top of this.
Okay. All right. So that's it. Anything else, Rusty?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay. Northbound.
So there's 2 bugs that are scoped in. One is an intent-related bug, and one's a DHCP app flow-related bug. And then for the stories, it became clear during the Emu planning session that we need to review the design for the intent domain to bring a larger number of people up to speed and gain consensus. So that's on the agenda. The other story is to identify the use cases for intent domain. So we've got a demo that we are working on, but it would be nice if we had a use case or two that could take advantage of this heterogeneous or different types of behaviors to highlight the intent domain subsystem. We'd also like to complete the demo that has been in progress for a couple weeks now. And also, there's a story to explore potential candidates for the new resource service. One of them is, there's a couple opportunities where we have link and device resource stuff, and Show will be working on that last one.
All right. That's it. All right. Sidnip.
This sprint, I will finish the background test for SAP on single instance and multiple instances. For single instance, this story is almost finished, so I will focus on the multiple instance. And plus a new feature when we deactivate the SAP application, we want to delete all the SAP relative instances.
Those 3? Okay. Okay. All right. UI.
Okay, yeah, for this one, I just carved off like the top 14, 15 points of the already prioritized list, and we'll be working on these. So this sprint is mainly finishing up documentation on the wiki and also providing the archetypes for people to very quickly build code to enhance the UI with their own views. That's it.
Okay. And also, what I'm going to do, Simon, I took some notes on a plane. As a result of the tutorial, there's just a few minor adjustments, and I'll input the user stories. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, and I'll talk to you more about it later.
Oh, okay.
And we can start putting them into future sprints. They're not big things; they're just little things.
Right, and if the points go over, we can just kind of bump things down out. So.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. All right, southbound.
So if you refresh, I can put a bunch of stuff in. So I think the biggest feature add which needs to be scoped, sorry, I forgot to scope that one. I just scoped it. It's the support for SSL to switches, and otherwise there's just a few defects that need to be fixed, like root discovery issues and some pings not happening in a distributed setting and upload it.
Okay. You have an estimate for this one?
I put it in. I gave it a 3. It's got the 3 and the tab on the left, on the thing on the right. But it doesn't have it in there. So if you refresh, it'll be there because I just put it in just now.
Just in time.
Just in time programming. That's what I do.
Yay, it's there. All right. All right. Move on.
Okay, core.
So,
Oops. Can you back here? There we go.
so there are a few bugs that are included. Some of them have been reported last week, so I just wanted to take a look at those. As far as stories are concerned, the biggest one is supporting or adding support to Raft implementation for scaling up a consistent cluster. So this will be, in my opinion, phase 1 of our work to support incremental scaling. And there is another story for supporting a primitive that we can use for doing distributed execution in a mutually exclusive fashion. Right now, the approach that we do here involves writing a lot of code and getting a bunch of steps right, and that has potential for things going wrong. So this primitive should fix them. And there are like few places where we can start using this, and I think this is again something that we want to introduce. There are a few other execution primitives that we want to add. This is the first one of those. So that's the stuff.
Good. Okay, platform.
So it looks like there is one bug that was reported by Hari, I guess. Or is it more? Okay.
Okay. Wiki update for Drake.
Yeah, so by the end of the week, we'd like to snapshot the wiki, create a separate space that'll be for the Drake-related documentations. And there's still a number of updates, specifically ones around deployment, starting on stuff like that we've identified. So this is basically just making sure the wiki is up to date, that we have the tools and stuff that we've modified over the course of the Drake release documented so people can use them.
Do we have a list somewhere that we go through at the end of each release so we can remember what things to update in the wiki, or is it just you go through it from your own mind? How do we do this?
We don't have a good way, we don't have a good process for it.
No.
It's kind of like distributed, kind of like if you make a change, you should probably go update it, but there's no sort of good way that we have of making sure that the documentation is up to speed and that all the subsystems that we've changed or added have good documentation.
Okay.
The wiki update for Cardinal.
Yeah, I think that story needs to get closed, but there's still some subtasks that are open or never done, so it's unclear. I mean, we snapshotted the Cardinal wiki, but it's unclear whether or not all the documentation in there was up to date.
We could make someone responsible for keeping the wiki up to date and putting other people to do that.
That's a common structure for the projects. Actually, they do have like a documentation branch to the project.
Yeah. And someone sits on people to actually put documentation branch.
Okay. All right.
Just an idea.
No, I mean, having someone who's responsible for it is a way to ensure it gets done. I mean, we've tried in the past to just make it everybody's responsibility, and it doesn't happen. So.
People aren't good.
Also, Bill, if you were to refresh, I've added a story on a related note to update tutorial VMs for Drake under the platform.
I think the structure you have doesn't encourage that because you didn't break out specific subtasks and assign them to people, right?
Oh, I didn't create the story. Someone else did.
Oh,
Thomas did.
Someone did, right?
But for
that was actually story spilled over from the Drake release.
Are they deprioritized? Were they resolved?
If you scroll down, you should see. I don't know on that. As subtext of the
okay.
the cardinal story.
Oh, I see. So they were just deprioritized.
If you scroll down the right.
So that's okay then, I guess.
Yeah, those ones.
Which is the
Okay.
so if you wanted to do it, somebody would have been signed or picked up by somebody.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let's move on. Okay. Security. Let's see, I may have to. Do we have anyone online for? Oh no, that's right. He's not going to be available, so we can't do that one now. All right, REST and CLI. Anything in REST?
REST API security investigation, is that old? I don't know. Okay, so this must be old, Bill. I think what we can do is this can be closed.
Okay.
This can be closed. We're done. I don't know why missed. It was probably done as a task between sprints, and we forgot. I forgot to tag it as closed. So we can probably mark it as like 3 points and close it and be done with it.
Okay.
I can do that. I'll do that.
And then how about any of the bugs that are here?
Let me look. I think the ONOS wipeout command, I think that was fixed a while back. Yeah, it's a fairly old defect. So we can close that one as well. I think the leader's output is just a cosmetic thing. We can leave it as is. I wouldn't worry about it. I would just leave it there. And I'm not sure about the wrong flow. It looks like it's a minor one.
It's one of Lucas.
okay.
Yeah, I would just leave those out. They're minor.
Okay.
So that would have been an exception in the completer.
Thrown when typing around flow command in the CLI. Yeah, it's just something to catch. That's why I put it as low priority.
Okay.
It's just a cosmetic thing. It's just an exception that is thrown on the.
Yeah, I think it's a bite-sized task that we could have maybe somebody else could take care of it. As an opportunity for learning opportunity.
Okay. All right.
I guess Bill, if you wanna just click on the deployments at the top, we match all the deployments, so I can have all the stories. And then we need to do on the left all issues on the edges. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, at the end there's the stuff that Pimping described you that we anyway keep track as it's as the NIP behind the deployment. And mainly for this sprint, I'm in the process of finishing to install Cardinal on the network of Internet 2 in the test lab in production and on AM Light. That's it. There's other stuff. Well, there are other 2 points that are more related to our infrastructure, and then there's more stuff that I don't have visibility yet, like Creonet. We are in the process of starting with the SDN IP deployment concretely. We already exchanged information, but since I don't have visibility of that, I didn't put it here yet.
All right. So.
Yeah, the last 3 are the one that Pimping already talked about.
Okay.
Good. And now you should deselect.
Okay. Nothing on PSEP provider. Okay. Built-in apps.
So I added the last story, enhancements to the DHCP server app. I added a few subtasks under them.
Okay, so this should be pulled in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I put in a defect that's been plaguing us with the reactive coding in multi-instance scenarios. We should have 100% packet delivery, and instead we have usually like a 6 to 8% loss on the first run through. So there is something going on. So I think we should fix it.
That's the same. That's a duplicate of the bug I put into the southbound.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
That's okay. We can link them. I can give you a number to link to. The number to link to.
I already linked them.
Oh, 1468?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. And the flow analyzer, I think we should just leave it where it is, because we have an offer from somebody I talked to somebody in South Korea. They offered basically an analysis program for cycles and black holes. They're working on one for OGL, and they said they were interested in contributing to ONOS.
Oh, great.
So I don't think we should invest in that at all. We should just leave it where it is. And
Okay. All right. Virtualization.
yeah, so these tasks have been started as part of the incubation during break, but they have not been fully buttoned up, and so I just reused their size and just loaded them into the sprint.
Okay.
I think we should just leave it at that, and at least as far as virtualization is concerned.
Okay.
For this one.
All right. PCP provider. Acord. Let's see.
That's also been moved to core.
Yeah, we should get rid of this egg as well.
Acord. Okay. I do it.
OSPF?
OSPF.
Okay.
There's an epic called OSPF.
BGP link state. Who's
BGP? We have in the team. Sadish? Here you can see Sadish.
Nope. No Satish.
Yes, so that's a lot of stories, and I already commented to Satish via email. It would be good to size these, but I don't think he had a chance to, the time zone hasn't had a chance to roll over yet, so he hasn't probably had a chance to respond. I think, frankly, this is too many items in the sprint too.
Yeah, that's kind of heavy.
I mean, because even if there were like one pointers, it's still.
How many people are on?
Plus,
Two or three. That's way too much. It's way too much.
okay, well, let's get them to size it and then. OSPF. Who put OSPF in here?
I don't know. Take it out.
Can I close it immediately?
Maybe it's just a plugin, right?
Even then, just to plug it, just close it.
All right, test improvement.
Let's say we close it because it's empty for now. Just keep it like that.
Yes, we do the same thing the way they look at all issues and then click on test level.
Okay.
Select all issues.
All issues.
Click on the test level.
Test. There we go.
So we have like a bunch of bugs in the beginning. Those needs to be verified during the sprint as well as the stories.
So these are all verifications?
Yes.
Okay.
If the fixes are in.
They're not all very. Some are just haven't been worked on.
Okay. Okay.
For the bugs at least.
Oh yeah, I see some are assigned to development. All right. Yep.
After the bugs, you can look at the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all clearly marked, and then even they're all placed priority-wise. The number of priorities, the inquiry taken, the inquiry was being production bench. And then next one, we will have our existing pump intent test suite adding with the OSI first and treatments, which are all types of treatments. The next test suite is a new one we are adding. That is for plural-based REST testing, because now the plurals can be added to REST, so we don't have new test suite. And the next one is this is a template for all test cases, existing ones, so we factor them to add more robust checking for intents. The next one is platform test suite. This is going to be the new one. We'll be adding just for the installation portion of it, cover the ONOS and VM, Docker, all of that content is whatever we claim. So that is one test suite. And the next thing, okay, this I think I'll move it under some other task in the refactor. This should have been a subtask. Just to add the logs from Jenkins. The next one is IPv6 functionality. This is continuing from the last release. I did not modify anything here. I'll check with the Criterion guys and then update them. So I did not change anything there. So the points also, I cannot say that is the exact one because that might change. That's the same number of points. It's been there since past years. And the other tool is that we're trying to explore the traffic tools. We have been having problems for some time now to decide on one tool that does it all. That is one thing we thought this time we'll take it up and then see if we can come up with something that could be used for packet matching. The next one is Huawei story. I left it as is. I did not modify anything. That is moved from the update from previous release because it has a couple of open tasks, so I did not change it there. And the next one is for show test enhancements, and it's a minor enhancement. We have 3 points there. And the remaining 2 are painting stories. I think she labeled them as so they're still there. Otherwise, the things of I think it should be like around 40 points or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually
things.
It's 40. If I take out the IPv6,
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Lots of stuff. Yang?
Yeah. We already defined some. Sorry.
You also have the tests.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Here we go.
Yeah. For this sprint, we are working on the Yang, mainly some of the research. We have not decided to do the code contribution. The first step, we want to define some abstract interface for the different device in the Yang model. So this is the first step. This sprint just finish this research, and then later we will add more tasks and do it gradually.
Okay. So should this be brought into the sprint?
Yeah.
This is actually
Existing Northbound APIs are based on Java definitions, and we want to use Yangs instead.
no.
The story says.
Where?
The description. Are you saying you're gonna model our intent API?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, if that's what that's the case, that's okay, I guess.
This is in the research.
So who's working on this?
Our Beijing team, one guy is working on that. I think he will come here next month. So maybe we can talk with Ali and Thomas more into that.
Okay. So, but for this, so this should be made into a story, right? And then sized. It has no size on it.
I didn't give this work size because I'm not very sure how the guys.
Who's the you?
Huh?
Who's the reporter and assignee? That's somebody.
One guy is in our Beijing team, Jillian, who will come here next month.
Yeah.
And yeah, he record this and he present to me.
Okay. All right. So I'll work with Patrick then on it. Right. ONOS SW. Oh my gosh. Really?
Most necessary task. Yeah, I thought this would be too many here. Actually, don't worry, because this some tasks very very small, small tasks. So they separate the two, you know.
Yeah, but is it all going to get done in the next 3 weeks?
Huh?
Is it all going to get done in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Should they be
For this sprint, yeah.
should they be marked as tasks?
Actually, you know, we already started this work before, a couple of months ago. So not all codes are already there. We need to, yeah.
Perhaps the better thing to do would be to make some stories and then make these subtasks of stories.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
I will ask them. I will ask to combine something. Actually, these tasks between among these tasks, some tasks are very related. You know, maybe
For related
should-
tasks
should-
that can be completed within a sprint, they should be in a story.
So 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 it's okay. I think we can finish it for this sprint. No problem.
Okay,
Because,
so at the
a lot
very
of the
least,
code
I want
base
to,
already-
I'd like to see the estimates on these, even if they're all one, that's fine, but at least get estimates on those.
Last night I asked talked with him, but we don't have time to merge it. It's too many.
Okay.
Anyway, for this sprint, we will focus on the L3, ONOS XW L3 series. For this sprint, we will work on the east-west communication, the subnet communication to support the L3 service. And we need to define the REST interface for the neutron driver, and also we need to define the routing resource from the neutron. After we get it, we need to save it to the resource management. And this part, and also in the VTM part, we also need to define some L3 table, because VTM manager will push the flow to open flow device. So this is the first step, just for mainly for the east-west the direction. And for the next sprint, we will work on the south to north direction, means the virtual machine can access the internet. So these are our major tasks for this sprint. And also we need to do some extension in OpenFlow to handle the ARP. I will talk with you.
Okay. Right. Okay. You should,
How many people are going to be? How many people working on this?
We have 6 to 7 people working on this for this sprint.
Okay.
okay, so these are issues with no epic.
Yeah, the last two are from me on the ON.Lab infrastructure. Yeah, and they are labeled under deployments. That's why I see them.
Okay.
And the first bug we can move to the built-in apps epic.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
TIT of JSON is
It's done.
Sounds like the JSON bug can go to the rest of them can go to the REST API epic. The rest of the bug.
Okay. So, well, Thomas, will you move those?
I can.
Yes, I can move those.
All right. And is there anything else?
Bill, this is Tesan.
Yes.
Yeah, I also added 3 stories without epics actually regarding on AFS work. Is it under this issues without epics? Could you scroll down?
Okay. So they're in the backlog?
In the creation, it doesn't. Yeah. It's those are last 3.
Yep.
Three stories. Yeah.
Okay. So we
Yeah, actually, all those 3 work has been pretty much done, but the some belongs to core part and some belongs to CLI and etc. So I didn't. So
Okay. So there,
my question is, do I need to assign this to the relevant epics for further work, or do I just leave it like this?
is there, actually, we don't have an epic for AFS, do we?
Currently, no.
You can put it southbound. I should have actually put that in southbound.
Okay. So yeah, let's put those into whichever epic makes most sense. Ali says southbound.
Yeah. I think it's southbound is the most appropriate one, I guess.
Okay. All right. So
So I just added 3 stories for this sprint, and we are also working on additional ones, which will be added for the next sprint, I guess.
okay. And can you put sizings on these?
I'm also new to Zira, so yeah. That's I assigned that all 3 of them as 2 weeks work, but
Yeah. So just some guidelines is 1 is less than a day, 2 is about a day, 3 is a few days, 5 is a week, 8 is break it up.
okay. Let's put it week, yeah.
Okay.
Or 3 of them.
Okay, so that's it for all the issues that are in here. Does anybody want to talk about any of the issues that we've gone over, or talk about anything additional? Go ahead, Thomas.
One thing I wanted to bring up is so the severities are okay. In the sort of the importance of these issues. Because if so, then what I was going to do is just order them so that we can attack them in the right order of priority, generally speaking.
Okay.
I just don't want to, because sometimes it's tempting to just address the easy ones and the hard ones then spill over. And those are usually the ones that are full of, the hard ones have more risk, and those should be attacked first. That's kind of the reasoning. That's why I'm asking.
So are you asking whether people have put them in the priority order?
Yeah, for a category, because what I'm doing is I'm using this to order the print log.
Okay. Yep.
So that we can address it top-down manner.
Okay, so those of you that may be new to this process, make sure that the issues you have in your epic are in the priority order, the most important least.
I got a question on the Scrum stem.
Yep.
We have, I don't know how we organize it. I feel like the last sprint we haven't done a lot of regular stem.
Thomas Subin's asking.
I didn't hear the question, sorry.
He wants to know what our strategy is for scrums, for stand-ups.
Well, that's a very good question, because I think what we need to do is probably for the next sprint. For right now, we should probably run with a scrum like 1, but we should probably start to figure out how we want to divide the scrums, and so that we basically can have multiple scrum boards.
Right.
Because it's difficult to cap the size of the sprint when we don't know how many people, for example, are working from away or from different companies on some of these tasks. Because in the past, this resulted in us overloading the sprint.
Yep.
And then maybe accomplishing only like 2/3 or even a half of the tasks. And I want to avoid doing that in the future. Because as it stands right now, we have about 180 story points, which, and a lot of them are, a lot of the stories are not even sized yet.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a, reason for concern. And if you operate in smaller scrums, then there is more accountability and less likelihood for overloading the scrum with stuff that's not going to get done. Doing that a little bit, I think, is fine. But if you can come in like within 75% or 80%, we're okay. But half is too much.
Okay. Yeah, so I think at the very least we ought to run with a platform scrum that probably includes the northbound, southbound, and core. And then we probably should have a separate Huawei scrum because you have such a number of projects and people that are active, and a lot of them aren't on site anyways, right? So.
Yes.
And then I don't know if you probably want to run an IP optical scrum.
Yes.
Right? Right. And we already have the cord scrum going, so. Yeah. So I guess that would kind of be my off-the-cuff take, but let's have some more conversation about it, and then we can get it set up in Jira and let everybody know.
Yep.
So I'll set up some time to talk with you, Thomas, and we'll zoom into it.
Yep. And I've changed my arrival time for this week. I'll be there tomorrow in the office.
Oh, so all day tomorrow?
Yep. I'll be driving up tonight.
Okay, great. We'll see you tomorrow then. All right, I think we're done unless somebody else wants to add something.
Okay, and so again, just a reminder for those stories that are not sized up yet, to go ahead, try to do that. The thing is, once the sprint is started, you'll have to move them out of the sprint in order to size them. So maybe what you could do is just wait till maybe to first thing tomorrow morning and size it, start the sprint tomorrow morning.
Too late.
Oh, it's already done. Never mind. Okay. Okay.
Good idea.
No problem.
A little ahead of you. Okay, great. All right.
No big deal.
See you in the morning, Thomas.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. See you guys.